lovelies, I'm back again with another video, and from the title you can tell it's a serious one. So we're just gonna go straight to the intro to, you know, give you guys something cheeky to look at.
I never heard nobody, so why they hating on me? I just wanna free my body, yeah. I just want to free my body. They say they shouldn't free me, but I said Irolla, give it to me, don't stop. Soon we be dabbing in the home. I know the people love it when I switch it like. I just wanna be free, I just wanna live life.
So guys, from the title, you should be aware of what I'm going to be talking about. If you're not aware, I'm just going to put you guys in. So the reason why I'm doing this video is because 2 days ago, this would have been, there was the whole exposing, you know, influencers and all the things that they've said in the past, and which is based on the ideology of colorism. Okay, us black people and colorism. Where do I begin? Okay, so what I want to say is, this is my opinion, and I don't want anybody to penalize me or to come at me and to, you know, just type away because you don't have the same opinion as I do. This is my own view, and I'm basing it on my experience and how I feel in regards to this. But I feel like it's a good thing for us to speak about, so you understand different people's viewpoints and how people feel about things. But at the same time, it's like you're going to see that not everyone has got the same viewpoint as you. Not everyone's going to be like you. You know, we've all got, you know, different personalities for a reason. We've all got a different mindset for a reason. Do you know what I mean? Okay, so I'm not here to bash influencers and everything. I'm not doing that. I'm just here to speak about it. So obviously, with the things that have been said, yeah, I will try and find some tweets if I can, and I'll just, yeah. But yeah, so there's a lot of things that have been said, and it's a thing where colorism within the black community. There's one thing that I saw on Instagram, and I'm going to try and find the video. These people did a study, and they used children, right? I'm sorry if everything's all over the place, but I'm just a bit like, I'm just trying to make everything make sense. And by the end, everything should tie together. I promise you. Well, I hope so, fingers crossed. So these people did a study with children, and they got a piece of paper, and they drew little babies, and they put them from white to black, right? And they got two kids. One of them's got two black kids, right? And then the guy asked the kid, what color do you want to be? The child said white. And then he asked the girl, and then he said, why? And then she was like, because I don't like my skin, and, you know, this is not nice because it's too dark, but that is nice because it's white.
Why do you want that skin color?
Because I don't know. I don't know.
Not sure? No. What do you think of that skin color?
Well, it looks kind of whitish, and that's all I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about you? Why do you want that skin color?
Because it looks lighter than this kind, because this looks a lot like that one.
Mm-hmm.
And I just don't like the way brown looks, because the way brown looks really nasty for some.
Okay, there was another study with a doll. So we've all had, as girls, most girls anyway, have had dolls when they were younger. So they got two dolls, a black doll and a white doll, and they asked a range of children, which doll's bad? They said the black one. Which doll is ugly? They said the black one.
Which doll is the pretty doll? Which doll is the nice doll? Which doll is the bad doll? Which doll is the nice doll? And which doll is the bad doll?
And it's a thing where, why? Have you ever actually questioned as to why things are this way? For me, I've questioned it. As a child growing up, it's a thing where being black was so shameful. Being black was so horrible. Like, you're dark, you're this. Especially as a dark-skinned girl, you'll be penalized for the fact that, oh, your nose is so big. Oh, your lips are so big. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, why is it was like that? And that builds self-hatred within yourself. So when I was younger, I didn't like being black. I didn't like it. And that was based on the fact that people made me hate myself for being in my skin and for being born this way. And I've got a lot of friends that did feel that way, that they hated it. And especially because I've got a lot of African friends, especially if you're black and African, it was so looked down upon. You'd always be told, go back to your country. Like, go, like, do you live in a mud hut? Like, people, because of how the media portrayed how Africans lived and how Africans were, that was always in people's heads. And people were so ignorant to think that, oh, in Africa you guys have got no clean water. Oh, all of you are skinny and you've got, like, you're like this and you're like that, just based on the media. And within the black community, this started to just keep growing and growing and growing. Instead of us uplifting each other, we would bash each other. We would say this and would say that. And in a way, black people, and as sad as it is, we are our own enemy. People may agree with me or not, but in most cases we are. And it's sad that, you know, we can't uplift each other and we can't help each other to progress in life. And, you know, but during this time period that the tweets had been posted, 2012 to 2014, 2015, that was a time where colorism was very out there, and none of us can say that we never experienced it or we never saw it, or, you know, do you know what I mean? And the reason why I'm not going to bash these people is because regardless of colorism within itself, at some point in your life you have said something to offend somebody and to hurt them. I'm not condoning the horrible things that they had said and the way that they came about things and stuff like that. But I'm not going to penalize a person when I know I've made mistakes. But I know that I have grown and I have matured. And I can look back at my younger self. And if I could ever go back in time, I'd tell my younger self, this, what you're doing, don't do it. Love yourself. That's the only thing. And treat everybody the way you want to be treated. Nella Rose spoke about deflection. And I feel like after I had a conversation with some of my friends, this idea of deflection is so real and it's so prominent because a lot of people are doing it right now. You're angry, you're pissed off, you're this, you're frustrated, whatever. But you are going onto Nella Rose's Instagram, onto Aaliyah Marie B, and DMing her and all these people and deflecting your anger and your frustration by not being mindful for what's coming out of your mouth. And you're not doing exactly the same thing, but the idea and the concept is the same. What you were saying, you felt this small, right, when you read that, and you're trying to make them feel this small. So how can you make two wrongs a right? It doesn't make sense. You can acknowledge the fact that this person has done something that is so shocking and so hurtful. Yes, nobody's telling you not to be angry, but I feel like there's a way to approach situations like this. We shouldn't just, you know, be the first thing to be like, oh, let me go type and say this and say this and say that, because that's exactly what they did. They were deflecting their anger of somebody coming at them and making them feel this small. So they thought, let me go and make someone else feel this small to bring it down, like to make me feel bigger. But when you go to sleep at night, you're not going to feel any bigger. You're not going to feel bigger because you've just made that person feel exactly the same way that you have felt. You're telling me after you've cussed someone and you've bashed someone, you can happily sleep in your bed? No, you feel that ounce of guilt and you will never, ever, 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 ever forget that you have done somebody wrong. So many people will act like they've never treated someone in a certain way within, like, let's say within the black community. A black person can say this about a black person and call a black person names and all this stuff. And then you know you have done it yourself. But because of this idea of deflection, you're trying to suppress the fact that you've done it. Don't do that. Just don't do that. It's not right. And it comes down to this whole cancelling clout thing. If you feel like, I'm in like two heads about this. This cancelling clout thing is like, if you are very frustrated and angry with an influencer, that's you. That's actually you. But don't deflect that onto other people. And people, don't jump on the bandwagon just because, oh, this person doesn't like this person and well, I'm not going to like them. Don't do that. Keep it to yourself, and you know what? Make your decision yourself. Because this is the problem. You get angry about something, you go to social media. Why? My mum used to always tell me that whatever you put on the internet is never going to disappear. It's never going to go. It's there and it will always be there. You can delete it, but it will never disappear. So when you go to a job and you want to do something in your life and that one tweet comes up about what you had said, or that one comment comes out about what you had said, what are you going to get that job? Do you guys ever think of it from that perspective? Maybe that's just me, and because I was brought up in that way, that's just how I look at it. Look at Kevin Hart. He made a tweet about being homophobic, and he was gonna host a show, and then they said that he couldn't do it. He refused to apologize because he was saying that he has grown from that, and if people are not going to accept that he has grown from that situation and that he's a better person and he's not making those jokes anymore and he's not doing this and that, then people don't understand growth. I'm not condoning that that people can just say whatever and do whatever, and you should just be like, oh yeah, you've grown from it, whatever. No, but what I'm saying is, if you can see that a person has actually made a change in their life and they're not abiding by those things that they've done, they've left it behind, then leave them be. Us just going to belittle them is not going to do anything. And that comes back to the fact that us as a Black community, why do we feel the need to make somebody feel small because we do? If you want to make a change, make that change by not joining the cycle of making it happen again and belittling a person. Do something different. All that negative energy that you have, put it into something positive. Do you know what I mean? There's so many ways that we can make this life better, because for me, in my head, I don't want it to be 10 years from now. We are still going to be in the same cycle and the same thing. Somebody says something, somebody puts something online, and then it comes up again. Like, I don't understand. The person that done it, like, you took the time to go and look for something like that. It's not like it was easy. It wasn't easy. But you went to purposely bring a person down. I feel like that's a negative thing to go and do. Like, bringing a person down, what have you gained now? What have you actually gained? Because, like, I'm not condoning what these people said and what they did, because it was horrific. But you have made that, you've brought up a past of a person. Something they're probably not proud of. We don't know. We can only just, see what we see. Do you know what I mean? But they're not proud of that. They've moved on from that. And they're at their peak in their life. And you want to drag them down. Does that make any sense? Us as people, we should be uplifted. No matter the race, we scream and we shout when white people are being racist to Black people. And we're doing this and we're doing that. But within our own community, we are not uplifting each other. We are not doing anything for each other. So how can you get mad at a white person for demonetizing us and doing this when you yourself are not being uplifting towards your own color? It doesn't make sense to me. It's upsetting. And it's a thing, but if we want change, we need to start within ourselves. That's the important thing. Because you can't expect people to accept us and to be like, not even to accept us. You can't expect people to not be bashing us when Black people are going forwards and they're doing things like this and they're saying things like this. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just very frustrating. And like, as I was saying, like, my experiences, like, for me, I saw these tweets. I was disappointed, but I wasn't shocked. Like, I wasn't angry. It was disappointment, because it's such a normal thing as you were growing up. Like, in my school, there was a point, when I was in high school, there was a point where they wanted to ban braids. And like, they did it in a way that it was like, okay, they know that every Black girl in this school is going to have braids. It's a protective hairstyle, etc, etc. And then one of the teachers came up to me, my friends, and was just like, in a mocking way, I understand that Black girls' hair gets kinky in the winter. And I was just like, for a teacher to say something like that, normalized. Colourism was normalized at that point, and there's nothing we can actually do about it. If you want to do something about it, make a change. If you want to do something about it, do something positive. Turn this negative situation into something positive. If it means sitting down and talking to your siblings and explaining what colorism is and helping them understand the concept of loving themselves, because I feel like sometimes colorism comes from self-hatred, like those children, for an example. They are sitting there saying that white is a better colour because black is dirty and black is this and black is that. That's where it starts. And if you want, like, that's where it starts. And if these kids are going to be the type of kids that want to go on social media and now post how, like, they want to deflect their anger and say that, black people this, black people that, it's just going to be a continual cycle. Do you know what I mean? Make the situation positive. Make it something that, do you know what, we're going to see a change. It's not going to be easy, but it's a thing where we need to start doing something within our own community. This is the thing. Let's stop being our own enemy. Like, it's tiring. I don't want to sit here and, you know, like, I always tell my brothers how black is beautiful. I'm not saying that no other colour is beautiful, but black is beautiful so that they remember that no one can take it away from them. Being black, for me, it took me so long to learn to love myself, because it was like when we were in school, oh, if you're not light skinned, you're not that, you're not it. When light skins were on the TL, that's all the boys wanted. That's all they wanted to see. But when brownings came on the TL and when dark skins came on the TL, that's what they wanted. It's kind of like it's been a trend. And it shouldn't be that way. And I hate when people use, they try and use colorism as a preference. You can have your preference, but don't use it to say, like, light skins are better. No. We are all black and you have your preference. If you prefer to have a light-skinned girl, then you prefer. Don't make it sound like they're superior, because none of us are superior. We are all the same. And that's what we need to remember, because if we carry on in the next 10 years, we're going to be back here again and somebody has said something and somebody has done something, and that's not how it should be. I just feel like we should take a lesson from this and learn, one, the most important thing, love yourself. Come to terms with who you are as a person. And two, let's not drag each other through comments, through the TL. Let's not do any of that, because it's not going to help the situation. Now you've said it, it's out there, it's in the atmosphere. Now what? You're going to go to bed. Are you going to feel happy with yourself? No. 3, being negative takes so much energy. Use that negativity and turn it into something positive. Use it to do something. Start a business. If you want to promote being black, start a black business that, you know what, you've got this idea and this is how you want to portray it. Do something like that. Do you know what I mean? And 4, just be true to who you are. Don't sit there and act like you've never said anything to make somebody else feel small because you felt small. Don't do that. Because we all make mistakes in life. It's about the growth and how we move forward. I'm not condoning the behaviour that they've done, but don't just belittle someone because you were belittled. It's not fair. And I feel like as people, we just need to learn that everybody does make mistakes. And you might not feel like these people's apology was sincere. And I'd like, what do you want people to do? Break down and cry? And then you're saying they're doing theatrics? What do you expect from people? Just be honest with yourself and say, do you know what? God forgives everybody for the things that they do. He forgives. So learn to forgive. As much as it has hurt you and it has pained you, learn how to forgive. Because that's such an important thing. That's such an important equality. And let's stop, please. Let's just stop being our own enemy. Please. Like, I'm actually begging at this point. Because I don't want to have to be in 10 years and I'm having 10, 15 years. I'm having to tell my child, like, this and this and that. Like, I want to be able to bring up a child, bring up a family and be like, do you know what? You don't need to go on the internet and see something about you being too dark or you being this and you being that. No, I don't want that. So if we want to change, let's make a change. If anybody has anything to say, and I'm going to say it again, this is my opinion, this is how I feel. And not everybody's going to agree with me. It is what it is. But if you want to speak about it and you have your opinion, don't feel like shy to message me and say anything. I'm always here to talk. It's about branching. If you have an experience that you want to share with me and you want my thoughts on my experience, I can go into that for people. I really don't mind. But I just wanted to make this video just for people to understand the impacts that we do have as a community and that we do need to work together. But that's CNED, and that's all from me. Yeah, see you in the next video. Sure, bye.